Hey, it's Rachel, and I want to talk to you today about something that a lot of parents bring up with me. It's the fact that when we ask our kids to do something that they have to do, something that is responsible behavior like cleaning their room or brushing their teeth or taking the trash out, we ask them to do these things and they complain. Maybe they roll their eyes at us or they say, ugh, when we ask them to do something. And when they have this reaction, when we ask them to do something that they have to do, we often get really upset and just say to our kids, you're acting entitled, or you're acting like a spoiled brat, or there's some things you just have to do. And while I agree with all of those things, that's actually not the way to get your kids to stop complaining. Because if we want to stop the complaining, we have to understand why they're doing it in the first place. And often the reason they're complaining is because they don't realize that when they don't want to do something, that's a problem. They don't realize this at all. All they think is, I don't want to. What we need to teach them is that not wanting to is a problem and that there is always a solution. So, for example, if we say to our child, clean your room, and they complain about it, what we can do is say, you know what? It is time to clean your room, and you don't want to clean your room. Now, that's a problem. So what's the solution? Now, as I've already mentioned, they don't know what the solution is. So if you ask them this question today, you say, what's the solution to that? They'll say, So what we have to do is teach them the solutions to these problems. So we might say something to them like, you don't want to clean your room, and it is time to clean your room. So maybe you can suggest some solutions that you would use when you have to do something you don't want to do. Maybe you can suggest that they talk themselves through it, which is probably something that you do when you have to do something that you don't want to. Or you can suggest that they put on some fun music when they have to do something that they don't want to. Or you can teach them how to think of something more positive or potentially the results of what they're going to get done later when they've cleaned their room. Basically, we have to teach our kids to identify problems and solve them before they're actually going to do what we ask them to do on their own. So you can do this on a regular basis. And what I will tell you is there's a phrase we use in my house. And this can be done on a regular basis, probably because your kids are complaining a lot. The phrase that we use in our house is, we don't do complaints, we do solutions. So if one of my kids comes up to me and complains about her sister, it's not that I don't listen to what she's saying. I won't say sarcastically, we don't do complaints, we do solutions. But what I will say is, yeah, that kind of stinks what your sister did to you. And that's a complaint. So let's work together to find the solution. When we teach our kids how to work through things, not only do they do more responsible things, because when they realize that not wanting to clean up their room is a problem, but there's a solution, they actually learn to clean up their room. Or when we ask them to do things, they also become more confident that they can handle difficult things, because we've taught them that you cannot want to do something and do it anyway. So we've actually taught them to be a little bit more resilient. And lastly, and probably most important and enticing to you and me as parents, is that when we teach them to identify and solve these problems, they do actually complain less. So hopefully that helps gives you some ideas for how to get kids to stop complaining when they have to do the things that they have to do. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at rachel@rachel-bailey.com. Till then, I'll see you next time.